Angeba Sojola here. Now, one of the most potent reasons that you can introduce a recirculating aquaculture system in the townships, right, particularly in Soweto, right, are for these three reasons. Number one, for regenerative initiatives, right? Number two, for climate adaptive initiatives, right? And number three is conservation initiatives. Now, when we look at regenerative initiatives, right, we are fundamentally speaking of creating a controlled system of the aquaponics recirculation system that fundamentally focuses on restoring and regenerating ocean habitat, right? Specifically for climate action, right? We will be regenerating and restoring ocean habitat, specifically mangroves, right? Salt marshes, right? And sea grass. Now, using the recirculating aquaculture system, right, we can create a controlled environment that is fundamentally and necessary for these three habitats, right? We can create an environment to be able to breed these three specific plants, right? To assist in the sequestration and the reduction of carbon dioxide that is full in the atmosphere. Number two is known as climate adaptive initiatives. Now, using the recirculating aquaculture system, right, we can fundamentally create conditions and an environment where we can breed the fish that we eat or the aquatic organisms that we eat, right, in a controlled environment without using a lot of water, right? Now, this technology also assists in the reduction of overfishing, right, from the fishermen at ocean, where they actually rake in everything and start killing other animals. So here you can have a climate adaptive technology that assists you to produce fish or protein in a sustainable way, right? That doesn't affect the environment or nature in a bad way by overfishing and basically destroying the environment. For example, in townships, right, we can maybe focus on nurseries, right, places where we breed the fish, right, and then let's say grow the fish, right. So we can have a lot of breeding houses, nurseries, right, where the fish growth actually starts, right, by basically creating where we actually produce a fish from actually mating with the eggs and the sperm being mixed. We can create a facility of that nature, and then have another facility where, let's say the fish has reached a certain age or a length, maybe after 2 months or 6 weeks, right? You move it to another facilities for that facilities to be able to deal with issues that the fish might have at a second, third, or fourth stage of its growth. So, climate action initiatives is also a big one for the aquaculture system. And number three, which basically focuses on conservation initiatives, right? So when we speak on conservation, right, we are fundamentally speaking of protecting endangered species, right, and endangered ecosystems, right? For example, we can specifically develop recirculating aquaculture systems in Soweto that will focus on, let's say, breeding of particularly, let's say, whales, right? Because whales are a huge, have a have a huge contribution in regards to the carbon sequestration, right? Especially in the ocean. Whales can, what can I say, sequestrate about 33 times. Uh, well, let me say, whales can sequestrate about 33 tons of carbon dioxide throughout their lifetime, right? So we can have aquaculture or aquariums, right, which focus on specific fish and ocean habitat and basically ocean animals, right? Fish, jellyfish, we can look at cuttlefish, we can look at various type of fish that would be able to contribute in the carbon sequestration and the reducing of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So conservation, right? Initiatives particularly focus on protecting endangered animals, specifically in the oceans or the ponds, right? And ecosystems. Ecosystems, we can, let's say, create a small aquaculture system that basically helps uh, coral reefs, right, grow. And then we can do this inland, right in Soweto, and then export them to the nearest ocean and actually do that thing. So these are the most potent initiatives that can be driven from the aquaculture recirculating systems. Now, because you can basically run these three initiatives on the recirculating aquaculture system, right? It means you can basically receive incentives in the form of carbon credits. So you can get paid in carbon credits, right? If you basically focus on these three types of initiatives in the aquaculture system, right? Now, when you get paid, you get specifically paid with blue carbon credits, right? Blue carbon credits are specifically carbon credits that you receive by, let's say, starting project and initiative that have to do with ocean health, right, and animal health and fish health in the ocean and habitat health in the ocean. So you can get paid in blue carbon credits. So when you receive blue carbon credit, it means you can partake in the carbon credit system, right? You can be part of the carbon markets, right? Carbon trading and carbon offsets, right? So basically, if you want to understand more information about what the carbon credit system is, I have a video called the carbon credit system explained, right? It explains various types of carbon credits, right? It also explains blue carbon credits and how one can actually receive them. So you can watch that video to basically understand how the recirculating aquaponics aquaculture system, right, is basically can be integrated to be part of the carbon credit system. And finally, we need a method, right, or a way to integrate the aquaculture recirculating system and its initiatives, right, to the carbon credit system, right? The one way I know that we can do this is basically through a technology known as the blockchain technology, right? Or the distributed ledger technology. Now, I am specifically talking about a cryptocurrency that is known as Celo. Now, I have a full video on the cryptocurrency Celo that I have done, right? You can check that out. But for this specific video's purpose, I'll be looking at two features that are found in the Celo blockchain, right? Or the Celo protocol. Specifically, I'll be looking at refi, something known as refi and tokenization. When we speak of refi, right, we speak of something that is similar to DeFi, but it specifically focuses on incentive generation from projects that are climate friendly, right? Meaning that if you have a climate friendly project, a solar plant, for example, or a aquaculture a system based in the township, right? There is a technology that can integrate that system to the carbon credit system, right? Now, the first feature that I'm fundamentally speaking about is known as ReFi, short for regenerative finance, right? Which basically focuses on restoring and regenerating ocean habitats that specifically focus on climate change, right? Or carbon sequestration, right? So the Celo blockchain, right, has a feature that can facilitate and help integrate these various parts of uh, 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 the initiative, right? So basically, Celo helps you to facilitate and organize and integrate the payment of carbon credits, right? Number two, tokenization, meaning basically on Celo we can create tokens, right, that are fundamentally equipment in, let's say, aquaculture, right? Let's say you buy, you have an aquaculture system that is based in Soweto, right? You can tokenize it, basically create a blockchain which is attached to those assets, right? And then you tokenize the assets. Basically, you peg, right, the coin or the token to the asset, right? Meaning, let's say I create a cryptocurrency called Aquaculture, ponds or whatever, right? And then I create a cryptocurrency. When people buy the cryptocurrency, they are fundamentally funding the project for me to buy the equipment needed to establish what can I say, the actual aquaculture plant. So in order for this to work properly in the township, we would need a blockchain known as Celo, right, to be able to facilitate funding, right, uh, uh, paying people in incentives, and making sure that the planet is moving in a safe direction. Hopefully, I've covered everything, and this is fundamentally the power of blockchain. It's able to facilitate funding and various things in projects of this nature. So without any further ado, if there's not any more information I can think of, um, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.